The reconnection successful, so that's good. I didn't even know it could do that. I thought I had to restart it. So we'll just continue, and I guess it'll show up there. And I'll just continue because that was only about 10 seconds, so it'll show up shortly anyway. So we want to maintain that homeostasis. So watery fruits is our best way to do that. And then we have some other. I'm going to just refresh that just to make sure it's still on there, but it should be. It said it restarted and blah, 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 blah. But just make sure it's still streaming there, which it is, looks like. Yes, it still says live, so I'm going to keep on and under the assumption that it's still working. Okay, so anyway, then we've got the next group that I want to talk about. And we didn't lose the stream, although it says we're fine. But I'd rather just check than to continue and find out tomorrow that something's not working. So we'll just go ahead and do it this way. And, okay, it says we're live now, so we're going to go with that. You know, you can. Hey, what's going on, fam? Welcome in, Heather in. See if that's going to work for you. I'm going to switch back to the Facebook real quick. Just okay, we good. So that was with the grains, and then you got your starchy vegetables and potatoes, yucca, and even technically, because a lot of people do the unripe plantain and bananas, and they make stuff, which those are technically in the start stage. And their moisture is low, and those are things you can make stuff with. You can take sweet potatoes and put it in a Saladaco machine and make like noodles and stuff like that. So for me, those are like fun gourmet stuff, but not for a regular routine. Oh, thank you, Ms. Ford. Regular daily routine. And then you got your just vegetables, which is like your broccoli, your cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts, and all of those different things. And those things, people eat raw. And when I first became raw, I ate those a lot. But that's not stuff that really digests well with me now. It's really tough and hard, although I do like the broccoli stems just peeling them, and inside is like a little soft, semi-crunchy, really watery, almost like an apple juicy, like that. So I'll have that sometimes. And then we got our sprouts, which has a lot of nutritional value, a lot of enzyme activities, and really digests pretty good. They're not always the tastiest. When I want sprouts, they taste good, and when I don't want them, they taste awful. That's kind of like when I used to do a lot of wheatgrass. When I wanted it, my body wanted it, or whatever, and when it didn't, just juicing it, the smell of it made me nauseated. And then we have our grasses and our leafy greens. And that could be your collards, kale, chard, lamb's quarter. What else we got? You got your soft leaf, your romaine lettuce, your butter lettuce, your mint, your arugula, your stuff like your spring mix, and spinach, and callaloo, and all of those, main things, leaf and grass. And a lot of people, raw food, that's kind of their staple, especially like kale. Like kale in the last 20 years is like came in style, like it was newly discovered. And I did a lot of that in my first maybe 10 years or so, and then I cut back, and eventually I just wasn't able to digest that kind of hard coarse fiber. But initially, I guess it was good because it scraped and it did stuff like that. But now if I'm doing greens, I'm looking for soft greens, like the lettuces or in some cases, you could, like in the farmer's market in Georgia, they have baby kale, and it's really soft, and it bends and it digests well, or basil or mint and stuff like that when I make the salad or a spring green. And that has water content, but not a whole lot. So if you're doing that, you still are going to add on some water, either from your fruits that you eat. Like when I make my salads, they're really fruit salads. I don't have a bunch of greens, but I have a lot of fruit, and the weight and the calories from that salad is really from the fruits. Even though it's going to look like a green salad, but you're getting your calories and you're getting your water from those fruits, just by volume. So that's something to keep in mind. And then mixing all of them together, although it may digest better than rice and beans, it's still a lot because the body doesn't naturally recognize food combinations. It's just not a normal thing. Even like not even as a kid, even as an adult, if we go out on a farm or we see something, and we see some apples, and there's some grapes over here, and there's some strawberries here, and whatever appeals to us, we're going to eat. We're not going to just let me get a bag and put this all together and make a fruit salad. It's just not a natural, instinctive way. It's just we're going to eat what we have a taste for until we have enough, and and that's it. My youngest son Josh, him and Patrica, they would eat. You had to like get them from the table. Like, okay, that's it. Let's shut it down. And I remember me, him, and my oldest son David. We went to Hawaii for Christmas. We used to, when they were growing up, instead of doing the commercial Christmas, we pick a new country to go to and stay till after New Year's. And we had this house, and they had orange or tangerines. I think it was tangerine tree they had in there. And Josh just, he was able to help himself. And I was just kind of curious. But he stopped on his own. He ate those oranges until he had enough, and that was it. And he didn't eat anymore until later when he was hungry, and he had that. And the same thing, she had coconuts on there. And, would cut them open. And generally, he would just drink one. And he said, that's it. I've had enough. And that's what happened when you're eating simpler. You tend to eat less and you tend to not overeat. And I'm talking about with raw foods. So that's it. So we got the enzyme, and there's a lot of other scientific stuff that's in there. In addition to the heating, destroys a lot of the nutrients and all of that stuff that you get with cooked foods. But let me just check over here. Okay, that's going good. So that's something to consider too. So when you're looking at the nutritional content of foods, when they publish stuff, and that may be the fruit or vegetable in its original, but once you've heated it, it's not the same, and then the molecular structure is different, and the body really treats it as an intruder when it's cooked, not as nutrition. So there's a process that goes with that that's not intended to be like an everyday experience, like having an intruder. So that takes a lot of life and forth. But the easiest distinction is one brings forth life and one doesn't. Or to say, only bring forth death, because that's all it has. It's a dead food now. So just to take that as a consideration. But that's still going to have a lot more value, whole foods, plant-based, and if you're doing cooked foods, then try and balance it with some raw foods. And fruits is one of the easiest ways. Like you don't have to make raw dishes. You can just say, I'm going to have fruits or vegetable. I'm going to make a fruit salad. And, then your cooked meal might be in the evening. And for the people that eat 3 times a day, maybe make your cooked meal in the middle of the day. And then have your last meal, your fruits or your fruit salad. So when you're going to bed, you have the lightest stuff in there. Is that, I'm supposed to wave, right? I think. Or is that them? Okay, so I waved that on. It was a little, I don't even know nothing about Instagram except I have an account. That's what I know about Instagram. So, and then also with the frozen, they say it reduces the enzymes by about 30%. And for me, replenish that everlasting that within us and replenish that. And, and keep in mind though, when you put that life force and that spirit and that energy, whatever name we're going to call it, when you put that in here, right, and you say, okay, I want to put that right down in my gut here, and you put that in, there's a lot of dead crap in there too. There's a lot of dead stuff, and that live stuff is like very vocal, and that live stuff's going to say, hey, you all got to go. It ain't 2 weeks notice, and you all got to get the hell out of here now, because this is our space. And that conversation don't feel good on the body. So adding these things don't always feel good, because especially fruits, that just pushes. It's not, the fruits don't believe in like harmony with everything. It's like, look, all of that stuff, you got to go, and it's going to push it out. You got to, you want to be able to hang in there doing that. Let me just check down here. It says it can't hear on Instagram. Well, I hope it's better because I've been talking for a while and I can't sort it out anyway. I think that mic there picks up, but I'm going to see if I do this here, if this makes an echo, and I hope it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't, but you all will let me know if it echoes or something like that, and I'll have to cut it down on that. So maybe that's why I'm not getting it on Instagram, because I got the phone volume down. And New York boss lady, welcome. I don't know who that is, but that could be my mom with a screen name like that. But I'll see. So you'll let me know if it starts to echo. I thought that was the reason, that other phone there, where we was getting the static, but it really shouldn't. But I was kind of turning off everything. So make some effort. Okay, Michelle. So I think the Instagram, I think I had the phone volume down trying to get the echo out. Yeah. So you making sure you don't miss me, huh, Michelle? I like that. I feel special today. I feel special. So be creative and don't count yourself out and say I can't because of this, and just totally dismiss it, or I'm gonna do this, because we got to consider if somebody else, like a doctor or medical profession, tells us to do something, we're quick to do it. Like if they say, well, I can't fast, I can never last a day. If I do a day, if I go all day, I'll pass out. And then you go to the doctor and say, okay, we're gonna stick something up your butt tomorrow, and I don't want you to eat after this time until tomorrow this time. And then voila, all of a sudden our body's not able to do it without passing out. So let's not always stay with these stories based on before, or when I did this before, this happened, so I'm never going to do this again. sometimes we can introduce new things, or maybe there was extenuating circumstances, or uh, all kind of stuff like that. So be open to um, try something again, try a different approach, get back at it again, and uh, and it could have been brutal the first time, but most of us didn't have a great experience learning how to ride a bike. There's a few of us that just never fell, but I had a couple of nice, good um, scrapes and scratches and bangers, but that was not an indication of what the future was going to be like. That was just what that present experience is. So move past that, push ourselves, and we may be eating raw, or maybe eating just cooked and doing that, and you do that for a while, and then you say, okay, let me add some moisture in there. Let me drink some water. Let me put some fruits in there and do that, and you do that for a while. And then you can say, okay, so let me do, I've been doing this for, I don't know, I've been doing this for 3 months. Now let me just do the raw like I do with my raw in the morning and raw at lunch. Raw at night, and then for lunch, let me do 2 days a week raw. And so I have like 2 days all raw, and then I do 3, and then I'm doing a week. And, try different things. Don't explain to yourself why you can't. As I said before, explanations can be really valid, but it still doesn't change the outcome. So we have to change for our outcome to change. So let's get this here focused. If whatever you're doing, be with it and be okay with it. The fast is this one is designed to be a raw plant food, and I know there's some that's not doing that, and